A very good morning to everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Bulletin on this crisp Sunday morning, the 4th of February 2024. It's cloudy at the moment with an outside temperature of 22 and 72% humidity with 25°C in my shack. You're listening to the club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, ZS6STN, which is operated today from the shack of Stuart ZR6WT Division 1 in George, Western Cape. This bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 8:45 a.m. local time on the following frequencies: 145.700 MHz FM in the 2-meter band, 7.115 MHz lower side band in the 40-meter band, today via relay from the shack of Noel, ZR6 Delta X-ray. And finally, Echolink, ZS6STN-R. There will be an automated repeat broadcast of the bulletin on Tuesday evening at 1900 hours Central African time on the 2-meter band. If you're listening in then, please call in after the rebroadcast. This will help us monitor the extent of listenership of this service, kindly provided courtesy of Marius, ZR6MS. However, I have heard that these broadcasts are also being uploaded to Sandton's website, and maybe the repeat broadcast will be done away if there's not sufficient interest there. In the bulletin today, we start with SARL General News, followed by club birthdays and club news. The special topic of interest, the South African Radio League news for Sunday, the 4th of February 2024. Good morning and welcome to the weekly news bulletin of the South African Radio League, read by Stuart ZR6WT Division 1 in George, Western Cape. In the news today, the 2024 National Convention, the first amateur radio station on the moon, ZS1YMG, is now transmitting, and AWA-CW Activity Day today. Stay tuned for more information on these and other interesting news items. The 2024 National Convention, the Cape Town Amateur Radio Centre, CT-ARC, will be hosting the 2024 SARL National Convention at the Garden Court Nelson Mandela Boulevard, corner of Melbourne and Coronation Roads in Cape Town. The accommodation at the hotel costs $1,500 per room per night and includes breakfast. It's a double room. Bookings must be made by contacting Marinda at reservations on 021-448-4123 and tell her you are booking a room for the SARL conference. This will ensure you pay the special conference price. There will be a welcoming cheese and wine function hosted by CT-ARC in the hotel's pub area from 1700 to 1900 on Friday evening, the 19th of April. From 9 a.m. to 1300 Central African time on Saturday, the 20th of April, the annual general meeting will be held in the conference room at the hotel. Tea and coffee will be served. The annual general meeting will be a face-to-face meeting with streaming. Lunch will be on your own arrangements. Saturday afternoon, a leisure and shuttle bus has been arranged to take delegates and partners and significant others, etc., to the V&A waterfront. There will be a small charge for this. The CT-ARC Clubhouse will be open that afternoon from 1400 to 1600 for any delegates wishing to visit the CT-ARC Clubhouse in Rondebosch. ZS1PK's RF Cafe will be open for refreshments. Transport can be arranged if necessary. Saturday evening is the Gala Awards Dinner. Arrival at 18:30 for 1900. This year it will be a 3-course buffet dinner with tea and coffee included. The dress is smart casual. The cost for the awards dinner is R300 per person, and bookings must be made with Kelly at NARC, at admin@sarl.org.za. Pay your dinner fee into the SARL bank account and include the proof of payment with your booking. Register for the SARL National Convention at. Alright, this is a long URL which I don't think it's worth reading. We'll have to look it up on the news bulletin to get it. But anyway, see you in the Cape in April. Okay, the first amateur radio station on the moon, JS1YMG, is now transmitting. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, successfully landed their Smart Lander for Investigating the Moon, SLIM for short, on the 19th of January 2024. Just before touchdown, SLIM released two smaller lunar surface probes, LEV-1 and LEV-2. LEV-2 collects data while moving on the lunar surface, and LEV-1 receives the data. The JAXA Ham Radio Club, JHRC, Q1ZVI, secured amateur radio license JS1YMG for LEV-1, which has been transmitting Morse code on 437.410 MHz since the 19th of January. The probe uses a 1-watt UHF antenna with circular polarization and is transmitting matters related to amateur business. Radio amateurs have been busy analyzing JS1YMG's signal, with Daniel Estevar's EA4GPZ blog introducing the method and extraction results for demodulating Morse code from the signal, as well as extracting the code string. Visit https://destevez.net/2024/1 trying to decode LEV-1. It is unclear how long the signals will be heard. JAXA said that SLIM is not designed to survive a lunar night, which lasts about 14 days, which is due to return in a few days. SLIM was launched on the 6th of September 2023 and landed on the 19th of January 2024, with the mission of analyzing the composition of rocks to aid research about the origin of the moon. SLIM's landing made Japan the 5th country to achieve a soft touchdown on the moon. The landing was achieved with exceptional precision, within 55 meters of its targeted touchdown location. Moving to contest news. The AWA CW Activity Day is on the air this afternoon from 1300 to 1500 UTC. The aim is to give participants the opportunity to contact as many amateurs as possible on 20, 40, 8 and 80 meters. You can participate as a single operator, all bands, low power, maximum 100 watts, or a single operator, all bands, QRP, maximum 5 watts, or a single operator, single band, low power, maximum 100 watts, or a single operator, single band, QRP, maximum 5 watts, or as a shortwave listener. The exchange is an RST report, your name, your diamond square. Send your log statement to Andy ZS6STN@vodaMail.co.za by 21:59 UTC on Friday the 9th of February 2024. Find the rules on page 58 of the 2024 Blue Book. The results of the pairs VHF-UHF held on the 12th to the 14th of January 2024 have been released. The overall winner: first, Christo Grayling, ZR6AUI, 12,758 points. Second is Andre Boertz, ZS2ACP, with 1,786 points. Third, Johan Brink, ZS1JAB, 1,538 points. Analog section was first Christo Grayling, ZR6AUI, 5,118 points. Second, Johan Brink, ZS1JAB, 1,538 points. And third, Phil McLean, ZS1WW, 1,304 points. In the digital section, first was Christo Grayling, ZR6AUI, with 7,640 points. Second, Andre Boerts, ZS2ACP, with 1,786 points. And third, Tina Spotkieter, ZS2EC, with 24 points. In the FM category, first was Jan Lambrecht, ZS1LAM, 220 points, and second, Gordon Villiers, ZR2GW, 150 points. Club news. The Hammies Amateur Radio Club will be starting special Class B lectures on Saturday the 10th of February. The classes will be held from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. at the National Amateur Radio Center at Centec Radio Corp. The course is 6 weeks long. Any youngsters aged between 10 and 15 who have an interest in amateur radio are invited to NARC on Saturday morning. This is for the introductory lecture, meeting the team and having some fun with radio communication. Kindly email Noel at zr6deltaxray@africa.com for further information. Looking forward to meeting some new hammies. It is time again to prepare for the next RAE in May 2024. The Bulletin Amateur Radio Club would like to invite you to join in on their countrywide online RAE course presented in Afrikaans. The 13-week course takes place on Tuesday evenings 1900 to 2100 via Zoom and will start on the 13th of February. The course fee is a mere 250 Rand per person. For more detailed information, the full schedule as well as the registration link, please visit bark.org.za/KURSUS-RAE or contact Yanni at zs1jfk@gmail.com. The Sasolburg's ARC's operating ZS8.5V dam from 1 December to 1 April 2024 to celebrate the 85th anniversary of the opening of the Vaal Dam. The call sign will be active on HF and VHF plus various user modes. There is a special QSL card available. Send your QSL card to the Sasolburg Amateur Radio Club to receive the ZS85V dam QSL card. Finally, we move to the propagation report. Hannes Kutzier, ZS6BZP, reports that solar activity is expected to be at a low to moderate levels. There are currently 7 sunspot regions with simple to slightly complex magnetic configurations visible. There's a high probability for C-class and moderate probability for M-class solar flares. If you want to do your own frequency predictions, the expected effective sunspot number for the week will be around 85. The 10 to 30 meter bands may provide some good DX fun, especially in the early morning and late afternoon. Please visit the website spaceweather.sansa.org.za for further information. Finally, a diary of upcoming events. 2nd of February was the closing date for the 40-meter club logs. 4th of February, today, is the AWA CW Activity Day. 9th of February is the closing date for the AWA CW logs. 11th of February is HamSat Activity. 13th of February is the World Radio Day. 14th of February is Valentine's Day and the SARL 80-meter club contest. 16th of February, the closing date for the HamSat logs. 19th of February, the closing date for the 80-meter club logs. The 21st of February, Armed Forces Day, the sinking of the SS Mendi. To conclude our bulletin, a recap of the main news story. The 2024 SARL National Convention will be held at the Garden Court Nelson Mandela Boulevard, corner Melbourne and Coronation Roads in Cape Town. The accommodation must be booked at the hotel, while the awards dinner is booked at Kelly at Nark. This concludes our bulletin for this morning. This is the Sandton Amateur Radio Club news. Let's start with some birthdays of club members. Upcoming this week is ZS6STN Leslie Lambie on the 4th of February, ZS6STN Gerard Cherokee on the 8th of February, ZR5JAS Roshi Mirage on the 8th of February, and ZS6DM Derek Middleton on the 10th of February. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you having birthdays this week. Right, we'll have some club news. If you have some club news, Sandton Amateur Radio Club news, and you would like to contribute to the news bulletin this morning, please call in now on 2 meters. ZS6STN is now listening.
ZS6HI?
ZS6HI, ZR6WT. Please go ahead, Keith.
Good morning, Stuart, and to all the listeners on frequency. Your bulletin is coming through beautifully, Stuart, so very well received there. I think we'll start with the Friday the 2nd, which was just behind us. Last Friday, we had a fox hunt to find your food and a dinner social. And I must admit, thank you very much to Richard for making all the arrangements and for putting up the fox. It wasn't, unfortunately, that well attended. So we had a few of us, but we enjoyed our dinner. It was awesome. We had some curry and we had some, what are those things called? Anyway, it was a chili cheese kind of bread, and it was very hot, but it was quite a funny evening. So the fox switched on at 4:30, and it was counted to be somewhere within 2 kilometers of the Douglasdale police station. So you had myself and my wife driving up and down Witkoppen, looking for the fox's signal, but the fox wasn't playing ball all the time because the battery pack was a smart battery pack, and we decided to switch on and off randomly occasionally. But we found the signal, and we eventually made our way through to the Douglasdale shopping centre, where it took another 20 minutes to actually find the fox amongst all the different signals and trying to triangulate it and everything. But we eventually did. We got there. So it was the evening was at Banjara, I think it's called. So thank you very much to Richard and ZR6 Delta Echo for making all the arrangements for that. We certainly hope more people will join us in future Find Your Food fox hunts and fox hunts in general. Remember, the fox hunt is just the attraction, the adventure component, but we have a good social usually after the fox hunts are concluded, and you can always just join for the fox hunt, for the social as well. There is a preliminary date set aside on the 17th of February. So that's Saturday, the 17th of February, for a fox hunt park walk. So that'll be in one of the local parks, probably Emmerentia Dam, where we will go and do a walk in the park and try and find the fox, but also have a social. But we don't really want to put a lot of effort into making these arrangements if we are not going to get at least a few members coming through to participate. So if you are interested, please do drop us a line at info@zs6stn.org.za to let us know that you are interested, and then we will go through and make all the arrangements for that. Then, as mentioned in the bulletin, on Valentine's Day in the evening, the 14th, is the 80-meter club contest. And you know I always encourage and endorse Sandton members to please get on air and do the necessary to make some QSOs, and then please do send in your logbook, because the logbook counts, not making the QSOs. It's the logbook that counts. Hi. So please do be aware of that, and get your radios fired up on Valentine's Day evening. Yes, you can probably even go in for a quick Valentine's dinner before the contest, but make that planning arrangement. Then on Wednesday, the 28th of February, is our Tech Talk, and that is a necessary Tech Talk. It will be on JS8 Call, and the whole modus operandi about this Tech Talk is to get people on board with JS8 Call. So it will be interactive. It will be showing you how to download the software and set up your JS8 Call for optimal use, and then to actually make some contacts while we are on air during that Tech Talk. It will be held over Zoom, and it will be by none other than ZS6 Whiskey Tango, who is our JS8 Call guru. So please do put that into your diary, Wednesday, the 28th of February at 7 o'clock in the evening. Then I did put out a call last week for RAE lecturers. Our lectures start soon on the RAE course, and there are 2 chapters which we do not have covered by lecturers yet. So we would really like lecturers to put up their hand, or anybody who was willing to get involved and do a lecture or 2 on the RAE. It is handled virtually, so you don't have to leave your sofa at home. You can just do the lecture virtually to everybody, and so it's not too onerous from that aspect, but we are looking for some lecturers. So please put up your hand. You can send an email to rae@zs6stn.org.za or at info@zs6stn.org.za, and we will then put you in contact with Samir, ZS6 EC, who is handling our RAEs. Then I'd like to welcome a new member, Peter, ZS6 Papa Juliet Echo. He's signed up to become a member. So Peter, welcome. I know you've been listening to our bulletins for a little bit while, but we're glad to have you on board. And this needs to be admitted. We don't have a welcome pack for members who are already amateurs. We've got a welcome pack for members who are signing up for the RAE. So I need to put a welcome pack together for Peter and get that out to him, or any new amateurs that join the club. So we'll be doing that shortly. Peter, apologies for the delay. Then one thing that I thought was going to be in the bulletin this morning was the QRP contest results, but unfortunately it wasn't. So I will give you a view of the contest results. I know they broadcast some of the results on the various WhatsApp groups, and I will put a news bulletin then into the for next Sunday, but I thought that the news team was going to do that. So let me give you a view on the QRP contest. So remember that we've got multiple awards on the QRP contest. So the top scorer was Philip, a ZS6 Fox Yankee, with 57 points. Then Brandon, our own Brandon, ZS6 Alima Zulu, he took home the QRP Phone Mode Pro Award. He had the most phone contacts out of all the competitors. So well done to Brandon, ZS6 Lima Zulu. Then Patrick, the ZR6 Papa Echo, he took, well, it wasn't an award, but it was noted that he had worked the most zones or divisions. So well done to Patrick on that one. And Johan, ZS6 Juliet Bravo Zulu, he won 2 awards, the QRP FT8 Mode Pro Award and the QRP JS8 Mode Pro Award. He was the only logbook that submitted a JS8 call of QSO. So hence our Tech Talk on Wednesday the 28th of February on JS8 call. And then Marius, our own Marius, ZR6 Mike Sierra, took home the QRP Chaser Pro Award. He scored the most points as a QRP chaser, trying to make contact with all those out there, all the contestants. And finally, Eddie, the ZS6 Bravo November Echo, took home the QRP CW Mode Pro Award, the most contacts in CW. So congratulations to all the QRP winners, and we will put out a news bulletin at the on the next bulletin. But just to remind you that Saturday, the 6th of April, is the next QRP contest, and it will be held from 1400 to 1600 UTC. So whilst the last one, the summer contest, was in the morning, the autumn contest will be in the afternoon. A little bit of variety, different propagation conditions, and we will see how that goes. So do diarize Saturday, the 6th of April for that. At this point, I think that's enough from me. I'd now like to hand over to back to ZS6STN. Stuart, ZS6STN, ZS6HI.
ZS6HI, ZS6STN returning. Thanks very much, Keith, for all the news. Yeah, I was also surprised that the QRP results weren't in the SAR news this morning. Right, so then we'll move on to the special topic of interest this morning. Why do Earth's magnetic poles flip? This is from Space News, and you can look it up at www.space.com/Space Mysteries Why Do Earth's Magnetic Poles Flip? This was published by Connor Freely on January the 22nd, 2024. Every so often, Earth's magnetic poles completely flip. What causes this to happen, and how do these reversals affect life on Earth? We sit at just the right distance from our home star for liquid water to exist on the planet's surface. The gravitational pull of other large planets helps protect us from apocalyptic collisions with wandering meteorites. And the planet's magnetic field encircles Earth with a protective barrier that shields us from charged particles hurtling through space. Earth's magnetic field is generated by a complex flow of molten metallic material in the outer core of the planet. The flow of this material is affected both by the rotation of the Earth and the presence of a solid iron core, which results in a dipolar magnetic field where the axis roughly aligns with the rotational axis of the planet. Hidden in the chemical composition of ancient rocks are clues that Earth's magnetic field is a dynamic shifting phenomena. Cooling magma rich in iron materials is pulled into alignment with Earth's magnetic field, similar to how a needle is pulled to a point towards north on a compass. The study of ancient geomagnetic fields recorded in rocks is the subject of a discipline known as paleomagnetism. Paleomagnetic research has provided scientists with the knowledge that Earth's magnetic field has shifted and even reversed in polarity many times in the geological past. But why? What causes the magnetic poles to flip? Earth's magnetic field varies at very short time scales and extremely long ones, ranging from milliseconds to millions of years. The interaction of the magnetic field with charged particles in space can alter it at short time scales, while perturbations in the magnetic field at longer time scales are caused by internal processes unfolding in the outer liquid core of the Earth. Secular variation of the geomagnetic field results from the effect of advention of magnetic field by flow in the fluid outer core and from effects of the magnetic field diffusion in the core and the mantle, geophysicist Leonardo Sagnotti told Space.com. Fluctuations in the magnetic field caused by the movement of metallic material in the outer core have brought about full reversals of the magnetic field's polarity in Earth's past. Paleomagnetic studies which have studied previous states of the magnetic field have shown that there are two possible states of the polarity: the current normal state, where the lines of force of field enter towards the center of the Earth in the northern hemisphere and exit towards the outside of the Earth in the southern hemisphere. The inverse or the reverse polarity is also equally as probable and stable. Paleomagnetic studies have shown that the polarity reversals of Earth's magnetic field are not periodic and cannot be predicted. This is largely because of the behavior of the mechanisms that are responsible for it. The transitory period of polar reversal appears as a geological instantaneous with a duration spanning of, well, it's below the geological resolution, with duration spanning up to a few thousand years. How do magnetic pole reversals affect life on Earth? When the magnetic field is prone to flipping, it is in a state of reduced intensity, resulting in greater exposure of the Earth's atmosphere to solar wind and cosmic rays in the form of charged particles. A recent study showed that during the Landschafts excursion, a recent period of low magnetic field intensity, which occurred only 41,000 years ago, the global cosmic ray flux reaching the Earth's atmosphere was up to 3 times higher than today's value. Currently, there's no significant evidence of a correlation between mass extension of life on Earth and geomagnetic polarity reversals. However, linking rates of species extinction and speciation with periods of low magnetic field intensity is hindered by uncertainties in the known timescale of these magnetic flips. Additionally, magnetic reversals happen frequently on geological timescales, several 100,000 times in the past 160 million years, while recorded mass extension events occur every 100 million years or so, much less frequently. In terms of human civilization, it's not the shifting of magnetic poles that is directly concerning, but the resulting period of reduced magnetic field intensity. Society is growing increasingly reliant on technology, and the effects of a reduced magnetic field intensity, there will be a notable increase in the penetration of charged particles into the magnetosphere at altitudes closer to the Earth's surface, with important repercussions on our technological world, added Sagnati. The risk to which our planet and civilization is exposed would have significant impacts on civil society. How do commerce, security, communications, power, infrastructure, satellites, and the lives of people in low Earth orbit? Unfortunately, the sporadic nature of magnetic variations and the reversals means we cannot predict when exactly this will happen. All we know is that it will happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's quite interesting, the time scales of these events. Right, this is ZS6STN, the Sandton Amateur Radio News Bulletin. Thank you to everyone out there for listening. We trust you have enjoyed the bulletin today. Please feel free to give us comments or any other constructive criticism. Thank you to the stations that assisted with relays and broadcasting, and to those who contribute to the content from time to time. Join us again next Sunday at 8:45 a.m. for the regular bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. This ends the weekly club bulletin for the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, ZS6STN, which was operated today from the shack of Stuart, ZR6WT Division 1. Thanks to all our listeners, and 73. ZS6STN now relinquishes all frequencies for general use.